You know, in politics today, social media is pretty much the new town square, but not everyone is using that megaphone in the same way. It really turns out that whether you're in power or you're trying to get it, that completely changes your digital playbook. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how.
We all see it, right? The posts, the tweets, the announcements that just keep scrolling by. But behind that endless feed, there's always a deliberate strategy. So the big question is, how do politicians really use this stuff? Is it about connecting with us? Is it about just broadcasting a message? Or is it something else entirely?
Well, to get some answers, we're diving into this really fascinating study from Nepal back in 2018. Researchers tracked the social media of key political leaders for a whole month, and it gives us this perfect little snapshot of two completely different strategies in action.
Okay, so first, let's set the stage. The study takes us to Nepal's political scene in mid-2018. What you've got is the party in power, on one side, and the opposition parties trying to challenge them on the other. This creates like a perfect natural experiment to see how being in or out of power totally changes your social media game.
So, let's meet the players. On one side, we have the ruling party, led by KP Sharma Oli and Prachanda. And on the other side, you've got the opposition, with key figures like Dr. Babaram Bhattacharya and Gagan Thapa. These are our main characters, and their chosen battlefield, Twitter.
All right, so the first and most basic question is just who's making more noise? I mean, who's actually more active on the platform? The answer here might just surprise you.
And wow, the difference in volume is staggering. Just look at this. In a single month, the ruling party posted only 38 times. Now, compare that to the opposition, with a whopping 250 posts. That's more than a 6-to-1 ratio. In terms of just pure quantity, the opposition is absolutely dominating the conversation.
So case closed, right? The opposition is just crushing the social media war. Well, not so fast. Because posting a lot is one thing, but the kind of content you post, well, that's a whole different ballgame. And this is what gets us to the real heart of the study.
This is where it gets really interesting. Because this is where we uncover two completely different strategies, two totally distinct playbooks for political communication. It's not just about how many times they post. It's about the very nature of what they're posting.
Okay, first up, the opposition. Get this, a staggering 67%, that's 2/3 of their entire output, was just sharing links, mostly to news articles. So what does that tell you? They're not creating the narrative, they're piggybacking on it. Their whole strategy is to find and amplify existing stuff that makes their point.
Now let's flip over to the ruling party. It's a much more balanced diet of content, you see. Original text is their biggest slice, and they share way fewer links. But notice the key difference. 11% of their content was video, a format the opposition didn't use at all. This isn't just a different mix, it's a completely different philosophy.
All right, so let's dig into that opposition playbook a little more. What does it actually mean when 2/3 of everything you post is just sharing someone else's link? We can call their strategy amplification and curation. See, they're not focused on making original content. Instead, they act more like news curators, picking and choosing articles that either support their arguments or criticize the government. It's a really efficient, high-volume way to stay on the attack and shape the conversation by pointing to what other people are saying.
And this number just perfectly illustrates the scale. In just 1 month, the opposition leaders shared 169 external links. They're basically acting like a high-powered information filter, constantly pushing third-party content out to all of their followers.
So now for the ruling party. Their playbook is the complete opposite. They're not interested in curating the news. Their goal is to be the news.
Let's call their strategy controlled announcements and production. Their goal is all about creating and distributing their own official messages. And why? Well, because they control the machinery of government. They have policies to announce, actions to report on. They're focused on projecting an image of being in charge, of governing, by producing original content that they control from start to finish.
And absolutely nothing shows this difference more clearly than video. The ruling party posted 4 videos in this study period. The opposition, a big fat 0. Video is a high-effort, high-production format, right? It's perfect for making official statements and broadcasting a polished image, which is exactly what the party in power was doing.
Okay, so we've looked at the data, we've defined the two different playbooks, now let's connect the dots and figure out the big takeaway from all of this.
So here's the side-by-side breakdown. You've got the opposition playbook, high volume, all about amplifying others and using links as their main weapon. Then you have the ruling party playbook, low volume, focused on producing their own message and using video to project control.
It's two totally distinct strategies for two very different political positions.
So the crucial point is really this. Social media isn't some monolithic thing. It's a strategic battleground where the rules and the playbook change dramatically depending on your goal. If you're out of power, your job is to critique and shape the narrative using existing news. But if you're in power, your job is to control the message and broadcast your achievements.
And that brings us to a final thought for you. The next time you're scrolling, take a closer look. Are you seeing the amplification playbook with its constant stream of shared links and critiques? Or are you seeing the production playbook with its polished videos and official announcements? This isn't just about Nepal in 2018. This is about how political communication works everywhere. So what playbooks are unfolding on your feed right now?